Now, this is one of the two major forms of control. This is the more dangerous and aggressive one. Maybe slightly less versatile, but definitely, you know, when you're here, your job is looking to finish, and we're going to get into how we're going to do that. Our second form of control involves utilizing hooks to manipulate our opponent, and that doesn't necessarily mean being here, because right now I'm in upper body control. When I say hook-based control, I'm talking about, if you come over to turtle stuff, I'm talking about how to use my feet to roll my opponent around, control position, go from top to bottom, set him up, how I can use this to transition between one and the other and set my opponent up, you know, whether I'm able to enter the back position from a spot where I'm able to connect my chest to my opponent's back and finish with my arms, or if there's a smaller opening and I have to use my leg to weasel it in there and then use that to eventually secure the upper body control. So here I've passed Steph's guard to my left, his right. He's starting to come up. I want to check his underhook to make sure he doesn't get a real good hold of me. And now I'm going to move his head. I'm going to push it down. Commonly, if I were to break this down real slowly and do like kind of an ultra beginner version of this, all you're really doing is this. But if I do it like that, Seth just drop you back to the mat. It's too slow. That doesn't work against good guys. I'll get there, but I'm not going to get to his back. So here's what we do. Seth turns in. I check. I put my knee behind his back. And notice how I've dropped low. Seth, turn your back to the mat, please. I'm using my right arm, my right leg, and I'm driving. It's like a whip. I'm not pushing with my right arm. It's not like I'm flexing. I'm driving off my foot. Try to get your back to the mat as hard as you can.
Can't.
Watch, if he turns back in, say he's successful. He turns back in. I've exposed the back again. I'm in the same harness. I'm potentially in the chair sit. We're going to connect all of these motions, guys. I want you to see where this is going. I lean all my weight back onto him, whose hips are higher. Not higher up in the air, but higher up on my body. Mine are his. Seth's hips are higher than mine. As a result, Seth is controlling me, all right? So again, this is going to put into context a lot of things that go awry when you're going for the back. You're like, man, why did this work? Why did this didn't work? What the hell's going on? How do we deal with it? This is a big friggin' deal. So come back for a second. Seth's got his hooks. His hips are higher than mine, okay? Absolutely critical. When I'm losing, his hips are at the small of my back. Now, Seth's got hooks in, but as I walk up like this, Seth doesn't have control anymore. Not that my hips are up in the air anymore, but can you choke me, Seth? See, I'm kind of up on the middle of his chest, and it's not just that. I can start to step off of him. I'm in dominant control. How do we relate this all up? Here's what we're going to look to do. I go one, Seth grips my hands. I'm like, ah, crap, this sucks. I break his grip. So I'll take my left hand over top of his wrist, palm up. Right hand goes palm to palm, and I rotate, wrist locking him. This isn't going to hurt him. It might hurt me, but because I have a bad wrist, but it won't hurt Seth. It's just going to break his grip. Now my right hand slaps over top, left hand catches. Alternatively, I could just come like this, but I don't like letting go because I'm letting go of Seth. There's too much going on, and now look at all the space between us. Rotate. Uh-oh. That's the beginning of the end. I don't want any rotation. I hold tight, and now I bump my elbow over his head. I can pull in, but what do I really want to do? I'm going to extend. Now watch. Next point here. I'm controlling, I'm pushing down, I'm extending. If Seth gets to grab something here, grab a hold, and now anchor your elbow to your side. He can be pretty powerful here. If he gets to connect his hand to anything, he can start to give me a hard time. His elbow becomes powerful. Now watch this. Don't grab anything, bring your elbow down. I'm not even punching yet. I'm not even extending my left arm. Bring your elbow down. Can't be done. So what I want to try to do, guys, is I want to take his arm out, not here. It's not wrong, not that it can't be done, but Seth and I are the same size, so I could probably do it. But man, bigger guy, real good guys can be tough. I control. I'm going to put my foot against his hip as a counterpoint. All I'm thinking of doing is taking this away from here, making his shoulder be out on the island. I'm twisting his shoulder up so he's not going to be able to move. Try to move, please.
Can't.
I could climb to the arm lock. We'll get into it later. I can go to the triangle, or if he's giving me a hard time, he starts trying to sit up. I come right into the rear naked choker. If he defends that, we're back in our harness. So we're going 1, 2. Remember, I can control him all over the place here. Turn in. I can use this to take the back. Anytime I get the more control, I can use it to go from here to here, taking my opponent's back and finishing. Now, as we discussed before, your hips can be too low and they can be too high, right? Now watch this. Seth's passing my guard. I turn away. He starts to take my back. And I jump my hips up over his. See how my hips got higher than his? up in the air. So if we rotate, not higher up in the air, higher on his body. I can turn, break his control.